welcome to AlphaCars. Today I'm going to be showing you around this beautiful 1987 Honda RT5000. Now, this is not your average tractor because this specific model of Honda doesn't really fit anywhere between residential to commercial because it strikes off both easily. Now, obviously, it's residential homeowner size, but it has the capability to do commercial applications. This is powered by an 18-horse, 4-stroke Honda single. It runs exceptionally well. This specific tractor is also in exceptionally great cosmetic condition. We have done some slight improvements, but generally speaking, this tractor came to us in amazing shape. Now, I'll get one thing off our mind first, and I'll talk about these tires. So, to start the conversation on these tires, we have to go back about 20 years to when this property was being built. And when this property was built, we had one of these Honda tractors. And actually, this whole rock wall that you see behind us was built exclusively with one of these Honda RT series tractors. And that was 20 years ago, and you can tell it's held up pretty good. But when we got our tractor approximately 20 years ago, it had tires, these same tires, in about the same condition. And about 10 years ago, or through the 10 years of ownership that we've had it, the day we went to sell it, the tires looked exactly the same way. These are industrial application tires, and they will live forever and ever till the end of time. This cracking you see is purely superficial. They still hold air great, and there's also a kit that a couple vendors sell where you can adapt a Honda bolt pattern ATV tire onto one of these, or you can go out of your way and stretch an automotive tire onto the same rim. Both are applications that we've tried before and both work, but these tires seem to be the best. Now, this Honda has front and rear PTOs as well as mid and front hydraulic lift. As you can see right here, this is obviously the lift, and there's a lift in the middle for a mower deck, which comes with it. This tractor comes with a 42-inch Honda line mower deck. It's on hydraulic lift, as I mentioned, and in the rear over here, what looks like a little oil filter, but it's really not. It's a cap for the rear PTO. Right here, we also have our rear lift for the grade 0 3-point agricultural hitch. It's a universal hitch. You don't need to buy Honda specific accessories to run off of this hitch. Many vendors, many manufacturers have been selling grade 0 3-point attachments since the beginning of time. Now, while I'm standing close to it, might as well start it up, and I'll get into the captain's seat, which is actually one of the features that we have improved, cosmetically improved. We'll turn our key, make sure our steering's nice and straight, pull the choke out a little bit. This is a cold start. It's only ran for about 30 seconds just to roll it out of here and maneuver it out of the showroom. We'll fire it up. Throttle was a little bit up, now it's down. That was with the choke on, but the moment you take the choke off, runs great. We will start off by putting this thing in low range because it's got a 2-range transmission, high and low range. We'll put this also in first gear and show off its amazing crawling capabilities. And the gearing on this thing is just mind-blowing because this is first gear right here. That's no throttle, clutch off. That's idle. Now we'll turn the throttle up from 0 all the way to 100, and we're gonna go mind-blowing speeds. That's 100% throttle. So This has 8 gears essentially. We'll turn that down so you can hear me. This has essentially 8 gears. It's a 4-speed, 2-range transmission. So right now we're in low range in first, second, third. A little sharp with the clutch, but that's the highest gear in low range. On 0% throttle or idle. Now let's throw this thing up into high range, and we'll start in the lowest gear of high range, which is this. So not much better, but we'll go straight to 8th because race car, and that's 8th gear right there. Now, no idea of even stalling it out. This motor and this transmission setup is actually very easy to operate. And one more thing I'll check off while we're here is the absolutely amazing 4-wheel steer system that this tractor has. Honda used this 4-wheel steer system in a couple of models in its RT series lineup, and it works exceptionally well. We'll put it into first gear of high range, let off the throttle, or let off the clutch, put the throttle up, and I'll do a normal turn, which is about this. But now watch the rear wheels as I crank the steering wheel. You can see that they turn in the opposite direction of the front wheels. So what this does in reality is make an extremely tight turning radius. It is extremely easy to maneuver, extremely easy to operate. As far as it goes with the mower deck, this turning radius really helps you get that really linear cut, and then when you turn around, you get lines side by side. So we'll do this real quick. You can see turning in the left direction, same thing, the fenders turn with the wheels, and that's really how you can tell. On pavement, it actually is very smooth even with the 4-wheel, because a lot of machines they'll bind on pavement, but this one it's fairly reasonable. So now that I've spun it around, we have our front lift right here next to the mid hydraulic. Right here is the lever for that front lift right there. Obviously there's no weight or attachment on it, so there's no use. You can't see it in action, but that's the front lift regardless. Right here, what we have is our front PTO, and for the most optimal use out of it, you would put your throttle right there, and now your front PTO is engaged. It stays engaged, it's a spring-loaded action, comes back. We've also added a neat little trickle charger harness, so you can keep it charged up in your garage. Lower the throttle down. So I'll go over another really cool feature of this here fine tractor. We have reverse gears, and notice how it's gears, not gear. This tractor has 4 reverse gears, 2 in each range. So I'll drop it down to low. We're gonna put it in the lowest reverse gear, which is that, and that's not that fast. This is second gear. I'm going to drive forward a little bit. And now I'm going to put it into high range, third gear, reverse. Third gear. And then for full optimal race car performance in reverse gear, you have fourth gear. There we go. Nice brakes. Very responsive actually, very balanced as well. It doesn't want to go left or right on you. Right here, if we were to press our brake all the way, press this thumb button down, it locks it into a parking brake. We're still in gear. There we go. But that locks it into a parking brake, and to get it off of that, you press down again and lift it up. So there we go. That's that. I'm gonna turn this off for a rest, and I'll pop this right here. If you want to come around, we can check out this neat little gas fill. And classic Honda fashion, everything is thought through. So there's a little bib in case you spill, doesn't go into your engine bay, doesn't set fire to anything. This gas has a tendency to be pretty flammable. This is your hood release. That pops up. Here we see a very cute little 18 horse Honda 4-stroke single. Here is the whole clutch assembly for the front PTO, which actually I believe also drives the mid-mount PTO for the mower deck. It's a very complicated but yet simple to work on system of belts. So really that's your only disposable item. Obviously an oil and spark plugs, just basic maintenance, but otherwise that's your only real disposable item. Oil fill, super easy, it's right there. Air cleaner right here, 2 wing nuts, comes off, you can do your maintenance, blow it out. Spark plug is right here in a boot. I'm not going to take that off, but it's right there, it pulls off. Hood actually stays up, I forgot about that. You have this cute little headlight, as well as the battery right here. There we go. This series of RT tractors from Honda, this line, came with a very broad selection of attachments. Now, you could do anything from agricultural work, like you could put a disc harrow or a cultivator on the back of it, or you could do construction or landscape, property maintenance types of things. You can put a snow thrower, a snow plow, like a blade, or you could do there's miles and miles of what you can put on the front of this thing, whether it be a snow plow blade or a dozer blade, something like that. On the rear, we've already mentioned the grade 0 agricultural hitch, but also in the back right here, we have a neat little compartment like Honda did on all of their vehicles. There's a little tool cubby back there because convenience. You know, you got to keep your tools on you. We're going to pop that right back on. There's our seat. This folds up. Obviously, because we're all for safety here, this has a seat sensor, so it will shut off on you if it's in gear and you get off of it, or you stand up too, which is fun. We have our seat belt here, again, for safety. Believe it or not, we do not have an airbag, unfortunately, in this fine vehicle. Although we do have a great roll bar. The tractor itself presents itself very nice. It's a clean, kind of retro-styled tractor that is still very, very capable of doing practical work, whether it be in a commercial implement or a residential implement. This is a great offering. These tractors are starting to thin out as people start using them into the ground because they realize what they are, and they take the, oh well, it's a Honda, it's not going to break, a little bit too seriously. Any piece of machinery requires maintenance. This tractor thankfully came from a line of only 2 owners. The first owner used it around the yard to tow tarps with leaves in them. The second owner owned a welding/fabrication shop as well as a farm homestead. He used this tractor to take care of the homestead, or the farm, quote unquote. There was only 2 pastures. He used his big John Deere tractor with a brush hog on the back to mow the majority of it, but this very nimble, small Honda RT for the tight spots and the sharp hills of the pasture. and it was not used that much comparatively to a lot of these tractors. And that's really what saved it from the fate a lot of these tractors have, which is, again, constant use, lack of maintenance, and just being beat on. As you can see, the plastic parts on this tractor are still all complete, and painted surfaces are in great condition. The stickers are still there, so you can tell that this tractor did not live a very harsh life. It lived a pretty lavish one.
So I want to thank Grisha for showing us this tractor outside, showing us its usability, operation. We got a good look at the condition as well, and learned some cool things about it. Now it's in the showroom. We installed that mowing deck attachment that Grisha had talked about. So here it is. I just wanted to show you this quick so you can see the condition of it, as this is included with the tractor. So all the linkages, everything operate freely. The hydraulics work great with lifting and lowering it, as well as the belt system that drives it, as Grisha demonstrated some of that when the tractor was outside. So that's all we have for you today on this Honda RT5000. Like Grisha had mentioned, really a great option, a cool option to get some things done around the house and more, as this tractor really can operate at a commercial level as well. So if you have any additional questions on it, please leave a comment below or give us a call at 978-263-9000. At the date of this video posting, this is available here at AlphaCars. One of the more interesting things, of course, our showroom's full of interesting automobiles and vehicles, but this is especially an interesting selection here. So please leave a like on this video and subscribe so then you don't miss out on the latest interesting motoring content.